We expect traditional financial markets to be quiet this week due to Thanksgiving in the US. On the crypto money front, adrenaline and volatility continue unabated. Risky Day Index. While Monday and Friday are relatively safe days this week, as the minutes of the Fed Money Market Board meeting will be announced on Wednesday, the premium risk is high and volatility is highly likely to occur. In addition, it is highly likely that we will see sharp price movements on Tuesday, as it is the day when regional Fed heads will make statements in a row. So Tuesday and Wednesday this week is not the right day to trade for novice traders. In addition, we recommend that investors who buy and sell cryptocurrencies be prepared for any surprise news related to Grayscale. Tuesday. Canadian retail sales, 16.30 GMT. Consumer spending makes up a large part of their economy. Retail sales, on the other hand, represent 1/3 of these expenditures, an important indicator for inflation. The course of the Canadian economy is important for the markets, both because it is a major oil and gold exporter and because of the effectiveness of CAD on DXY. It is especially important in a week with so little data flow. Expected, -0.5 previous, 0.7. The data to be announced within the expectations and close to the expectations may not create activity. If expectations are largely exceeded, we are likely to see a slowdown in CAD, with a rise in DXY. In case of data flow well below expectations, an increase in CAD and a decrease in DXY can be seen. Wednesday. German Purchasing Managers Index, PMI. It is generally accepted that the situation in the German economy directly refers to the whole of Europe. For this reason, any change that may occur in the German economy is followed on behalf of the euro. Expectation, 45.2 previous, 45.1. In conditions where the PMI data remains below 50, weakness in the economy is expected. This does not apply to one-off cases, a certain continuity is sought. In case the PMI data is below the expectation, we can see a decline in European markets, especially in DAX, and a positive pricing on the EUR side. In cases where the PMI data is above the expectation, along with the rise in the stock markets, a negative pricing in the EUR can be mentioned. US Purchasing Managers Index, PMI, 17.45. We mentioned it while discussing the German PMI, as it is a production-oriented report. Persistent data below 50 indicates that the economic trend is weakening. Expectation, 49.9 previous, 50.4. Disruptions in production will adversely affect the economy. This can be seen as a result of the interest policies implemented by the Fed. While the above-expected data flow creates a negative pricing on behalf of the markets, sub-anticipatory data will provide positive pricing for the markets. Nearly all of the US bias data will be released on Wednesday for Thanksgiving. The successive disclosure of so many data will reduce the volatility in the price as well as the effectiveness of some data on the price. US new home sales. As we mentioned above, the construction sector is important for the US economy. It would be useful to monitor the decline in mortgage interest rates for 1 month. Expectation, 507K previous, 603K. Expectation, 507K previous, 603K. The increase in house sales will not be welcomed by the Fed, which is trying to cool the economy, and the attitude towards interest rates will harden. On the other hand, taking into account the statements made by the Fed speakers, a slight positive pricing can be seen on the SVEP side. Wednesday. FOMC records. FOMC minutes is a detailed text of the Fed meeting. It is a document that includes the rationale of the Fed meeting decisions, the views of the FOMC members on the macroeconomic outlook, the duration of the measures and interest rate decisions, and the future projections. Investors follow the FOMC minutes for clues about a possible change in Fed monetary policy. Thursday. Germany IFO. It is the most important data from Europe on how the German and European economies will develop in the coming weeks. It consists of 3 separate indices. Business Climate Index. Expectation, 85.0 previous, 84.3. Expectations Index. Expectation, 77.00 previous, 75.6. Current Status Index. Expected, 93.6. It is the index in which managers and bosses from the manufacturing, construction, wholesale and retail sectors evaluate the situation in Germany. Markets specifically examine the Expectations Index. Gold, XAU. Gold broke the downward trend that started as of March with the macro developments we have experienced recently. We may see a pullback to the 1,715s at first, but we do not think that gold will upset the investor, especially since the macro data in the medium term are worrying in this period. Nasdaq, S1. The Nasdaq side has had its fair share of macro developments, as has the EU, but Michigan has announced that consumer sentiment is about 10% lower per month, and the price is now in the decision phase. Bitcoin, BTC USDT. Aggressive selling continues on the spot side since the fall on the 8th of November. It retested the $15,600 to $16,000 support level. For the outlook to be positive, the value area it is in must first close above the point of control level of $16,700. Algorand, ALGO, USDT. Having an official partnership with FIFA, the organizer of the World Cup, ALGO abandoned its long-standing horizontal movement downwards due to FTX, just before the start of the Cup. Positive scenario, the 25 cents region, where it received last support, seems to be the last serious buy zone for the bulls if they want to move the price upwards. This area should be defended, then their first serious target will be the RL zone, 30 cents. If it can hold within the range, then the deviation outside the EQ zone, then RH will want the liquidity of the movement. We wish everyone a very profitable days. Don't forget like and subscribe.